Welcome back in for another episode of SSD Mythbusters. We are here to tackle another topic today. And just like we do with each episode, we take on a myth or something that we have heard, a common question, information that is out there about disability law, and we try to clear up the record and give you the facts that you need for a straight answer. So today we're going to do that again. We've got another topic we're going to present to our SSD law expert, attorney Josh Worley. So Josh, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. So our question today is a disability check tax-free?
All right. So let me address that. The easy answer to that question is if you are single and the only income you have is Social Security disability benefits, then those benefits are tax-free. So you don't have to worry about having to pay taxes on those benefits. If you are single and you also have some income beyond your Social Security disability, either you're working part-time or you have a spouse that is also working and bringing in some income, then a percentage of your Social Security disability benefits could be taxable. Okay. So it kind of gets down, you got to get into the weeds a little bit to try to figure that out. But the bottom line is that if you've got additional income either from another job or a spouse, then they will consider half of your Social Security disability benefit, and you add that half onto your other income or your spouse's income. And if you are married, then if that total ends up being more than $32,000, then half of your disability benefit could be taxable. If you're single, then if that total ends up being over $25,000, then you can owe taxes on a portion of your Social Security disability. So it's a lot to try to figure out, but the bottom line is that it's tax-free if you're only getting Social Security disability benefits and you're single. It can be taxable if you are single and working a little bit on the side, and that adds up to being more than 25, or married and you're over 32. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I would imagine a lot of people out there it's confusing in the sense that there's not just this clear, easy yes or no. There are these thresholds. It depends on whether you're single. If you're married, it sounds like there's this threshold of if it combined with your spouse's income, if it's at a certain level, which you said was at 30,000?
32.
32,000, then maybe half of your income or half of the disability payment could be taxable?
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. I think what I would recommend to people out there is that, I mean, this really kind of gets into some complicated issues when it comes to taxes. You really need to talk to a tax professional to help you understand that. But you just need to know it's not just a blanket Social Security disability benefits are always tax-free. That's probably the thing to just be aware of.
So and do you know the answer to this? Do they get a form from Social Security? Is there a tax form that they get at the end of the year? Because people that are working get a W-2 or something of that,
right? I don't think that you get a form. I'm not certain on that, so I could be wrong on that. I don't think that you get a form. I think it's just a responsibility to report that income, just like you'd have any kind of, if you're self-employed or whatever, you've got to report that income.
Okay.
I think that's the way it would be handled. I could be wrong on that, but again, I would refer people to a tax professional to help understand that for sure, make sure they're doing that right.
Okay, so a few things we could say for certain. If someone is single and they're recovering disability benefits and they aren't working on the side, then we do know there's not a tax burden or a tax implication there.
That is correct. Yes.
So that's a pretty easy one to answer.
Yes.
Where it gets complicated is if you're additionally working, and that does make sense. If you've got some additional income, there's kind of a threshold there. But then also maybe more significantly for those that are working, have a spouse that also has income, you need to be mindful of those. And as you said, you really need to just check with an accountant or a tax professional of some kind to verify.
Yep, that's what I would recommend.
Okay.
Yep.
Again, what we've learned with a lot of things, though, is you can't just ignore it. Don't just assume that you don't owe anything. It's better to figure out, because I would imagine for the most part, once you get the answer to that question, you have a pretty good idea in the following years, unless your spouse's income changes or you start working.
Yeah.
So go get this answered probably one time, and you'll get the answer probably to last you for a while.
Agreed. Yeah, it should not change unless you've got a dramatic change in spouse's income or your income changes. That you should be pretty consistent year to year.
Okay. Well, I don't think we can give this one the busted or approved. It's
No.
with a lot of things. It depends. But Josh has given us a lot of helpful information. Continue to look into it, investigate it, but certainly be mindful. Do not just assume that it's all tax-free.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to learn more about this or some other topics, any of the topics related to disability law, check us out at idlawcenter.com. We've got calculators. We've got all kinds of things that you'll find helpful there. So be sure to check us out. Josh has a nationwide practice. He helps people all over the country with their disability benefits and getting approved. And so if you would like help, give us a call. Our team would be happy to visit with you. Until then, we'll see you next time.